The 2019 Fiat 500L, driven. The Fiat 500L is classified as a compact MPV, minivan, as we know the term here in the United States, but it's really more of a compact SUV or large hatchback. It's been on the global market since 2012, but Fiat didn't bring it to the States until the 2014 model year. It's been on the market ever since, and was updated in 2018, but the truth of the matter is that the 500L is still nearly 8 years old. With this in mind, we're kind of curious if the city car on steroids, remember, it's based on the 500 city car, is still a viable choice in today's market. So, we spoke with our press fleet coordinator and managed to get our hands on a 2019 Fiat 500L. A couple of weeks later, a 2019 Fiat 500L trekking showed up at Top Speed headquarters. This trim level sits above the entry-level pop trim, but below the upper-class Urbana and Lounge trim levels with a starting price of $23,575. It is certainly positioned right in the middle of the affordable price bracket, but how does it drive? Is the aging 500L comfortable and up to par with the competition? Does it provide the same thrills and entertaining experience as the smaller 500 that it's based on? Well, after spending a week with the 2019 Fiat 500L, we have answers to these questions and more. This is our story. Fiat 500L exterior design. The 500L is unmistakably a Fiat and, despite its native FWD configuration, it looks relatively rugged, especially for a model that's classified in most parts of the world as an MPV or minivan as we know them. That rugged look is okay as long as you don't let it mislead you, but even after a week with the 500L, we're still not really sold on its design. Looking at it from the front, it's hard not to see a snarling face, thanks to those chameleon-like eyes and weird 4-hole radiator grille. The huge insert that sits over the front fascia and includes the air dam with 4 other smaller vents, only half of which are functional, does add a bit of pizzazz to the front end, but it still feels like it's a little too tall for its own good. The other big eyesore here are the huge A-pillars that remind us of the old Pontiac Trans Sport minivan to some degree. The side profile of the Fiat 500L helps to make up for the weirdness in the front, however, those big A-pillars look more Pontiac-like than ever from this angle. The roof is slanted downward to the rear and that does give it a sporty touch, but outside of the thin creases around the wheel wells and a slight bulge below the beltline, the body itself is rather bland. The doors do have inserts near the bottom to add a little more character, and the two-tone theme here, black above the beltline, does help out when it comes to overall appearance. The problem is that it always looks like the 500L is squatting in the rear, like a Chevy Suburban that has a little too much cargo in the rear. Of course, this is only a trick on the eyes because of how the roof slants and wraps downward to the rear, and because the rear wheel arches aren't quite as high as those in the front, but it's still a little hard to get used to. Around back, the Fiat 500L is painfully a Chrysler, FCA, product. Sure, it has the Fiat-style round taillights and the overall Fiat vibe, but the rear end really reminds of the back of a Chrysler town and country van, just a little bit smaller. That said, there is just the right amount of character here as Fiat didn't go overboard with trim inserts or design cues like it did with the front end. The C-pillars are wide and bulky, just like the A-pillars, but since they are more upright, they are more appealing. The cheapest trim.
To read the full article, check the link in the description. If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.